My name is Murali and this is the Audi Q2 Urban Edition. I'm going to be telling you what it's like on the road, what does it compete with, is it worth its 741,000 Rand price tag, or should you be considering something else? So let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, and this week I'm in the Audi Q2 Urban Edition. It's basically Audi's baby SUV and the entry point into the SUV lineup, followed by the Q3, the Q5, the Q7, as well as the Q8. From the front, the vehicle looks quite nice, finished in this Manhattan grey metallic paint. You also get Audi's matrix headlamps, as well as these silver accents around the front of the vehicle. All in all, the design looks quite nice. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit the subscribe and like button down below. So under the bonnet, you've got a 1.4 litre motor, and it's quite punchy. It develops 110 kilowatts and 250 newton meters of torque. It goes from 0 to 100 in 8.8 seconds and top speed of 213 kilometers an hour. More than adequate power and very comfortable on the road, and it's mated to a silky smooth 8-speed automatic transmission. So moving around to the side of the vehicle, you've got these 18-inch rims, and they're finished in this machine finish and graphite grey, and they're wrapped in these lovely Bridgestone tires which absorb the bumps quite nicely. So once you get into the boot, you've got 405 liters of boot space, and if you drop those rear seats, that expands to 1,000 liters of storage space. You do get a biscuit spare tire, and then you've got some storage on the side of your boot, as well as some clips for your groceries, and then you do have some lights as well. More than sufficient storage for those extended trips. So jumping into the rear seats of the Q2, pretty tight here at my legs, just fitting, and this seat is in my driving position. Not a lot of headroom as well for me, and I'm 1.8 meters tall. You do get some storage behind each seat, as well as on either side of the door for your bottles, and then you've got electrically operated windows, 2 Type-C ports, unfortunately no vents in the rear for the passengers, and then you get ISOFIX, and also no center console or armrest here in the rear seats, and unfortunately you don't get any of that panoramic sunroof as well. So pretty sad space to be spending your time, especially for the extended trips, and yeah, not ideal in my opinion. So jumping into the front seat of the Q2, you're met by this lovely steering wheel and your virtual cockpit. Virtual cockpit is controlled on the left hand side of your steering, and you've got 3 different views that you can toggle between. On the right hand side of your steering, you've got your navigation and media controls, and then you've got your light controls on the right of your steering, as well as some storage on the side of your door, and you've got one-touch electrically operated windows throughout the vehicle. Moving along to the media unit, it is not touchscreen, but you do get a very nice display, and it's controlled via this interface just below your gear lever. You get auto start stop, and you've got your parking aid, which brings up this visual representation of how close you are to a subject. You also get traction control and the ability to switch off your media unit. This one does offer climate control for both passengers and heated front seats, which is welcomed in winter, and you also get 1 Type-A port in the front, as well as a 12-volt charging point, and then you've got 2 cup holders here in the front below your climate control unit. You get an electrically operated parking brake, and then in your storage area you've got some storage space, as well as another Type-A port and some aux inputs. The vehicle does have some nice finishes like this around the front of the dash, and then you've got these lovely leather sport seats, and I think the build feels quite nice. It's really well put together, and it's a pity that there's no Type-C ports in the front of this vehicle. Also no reverse parking camera, which I believe is an optional extra, but you do get a panoramic sunroof to allow some of that sun into the vehicle. All in all, it does have the Audi touch, and I really like the build on this vehicle. On the road, the vehicle feels really comfortable, very nice power delivery, and this 110 kilowatts, it's not quick by all means, but power is more than ample, and it's available when you need it. And you know, you're easily able to overtake and stuff without too much of effort, right? I really like this combination with the engine and the gearbox, and this 8-speed is really just kind of glides to the gears and feels quite comfortable, right? And I think I do like that about it. The vehicle is and can be quite efficient. Audi claims between 5 and 7.5 liters, and I've been able to bring it down to about 7.5 liters in mostly city driving. I really think the fuel consumption can come down quite nicely on the open road. And the virtual cockpit also quite a nice experience, you know, with Audi's MMI system, etc. It's easy to use. It's got a couple of different views, and you know, you can easily find the information you're looking for without much effort and without having to be bothered by going through numerous menus, etc. You can easily familiarize yourself with it without much effort. Now, this one does have the heated seats, so I was able to make use of that quite nicely, being winter here in South Africa. And on the inside, it just feels very much Audi, right? It feels comfortable, it feels well put together, and I think all in all, it brings a really nice driving experience back to the driver. I mean, the one thing I really would have liked to have seen is that Type-C port in the front. Without it, I wasn't able to use the Apple CarPlay or anything of that sort, so I've mostly been using Bluetooth, and it got the job done, but it would have been nice, you know, in a 2024 Audi model to have some Type-C ports in the front. Other than that, I think it's just a really well-rounded package, and it feels quite good and quite easy to maneuver around, and feels quite comfortable in the city setting as well. And I think really that's where I see it playing, you know, a really good role on your day-to-day commute, you know, to and from work, etc. Once you go into the open road for running around, I think it's more than sufficient. But I think when you start going onto those long distance trips, I think the 1.4 liter is going to feel a little bit more strained with a full load in it. So the vehicle does have a host of safety features, and it has a 5-star NCAP rating, which is welcomed. I mean, it has a host of airbags, it's got cruise control, ISOFIX in the rear, the parking aid system, but not a lot of driving aids, right? So there's lane keep assist, but there's no blind spot monitoring, there's no adaptive cruise control, etc. And I don't see any of that available on Audi's website either. So let's just talk about competition. It is quite a fierce segment. This Q2 competing directly with the BMW X1, Mercedes GLA, the VW Tiguan, the Mini Countryman, and of course the Volvo XC40. All of these vehicles are priced between 600, 620 up to about 850,000 Rand. And I think the vehicles that really stand out for me from there is the VW Tiguan and the BMW X1, right? I think those are the fiercest competition for this Q2. Now, if you want to get into this Q2, pricing starts at a little over 600,000 Rand for the entry point, but this Urban Edition with a long host of standard features will set you back 741,000 Rand, and this model has the Manhattan grey finish, which was an optional extra, but an additional 2,500 Rand. So you're looking at about 744,000 Rand all in for this Q2. And it is a really lovely vehicle, but a pricey one, right? So kind of difficult to look for the value here. And you know, Audi missing some of the key things I'm looking for, like the Type-C ports, etc., and the driving aids. I think it's a bit disappointing on a vehicle at this price. But if you're in the market for a Q2 or any of these competitors that I've mentioned, make sure you head over to autoadvisor.co.za, where you can get a competitive price on your next SUV, and somebody in our team will get back to you to assist you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please do make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.